What's going on? What's going on, man? We live from the boxing section, man. What's going on with everybody today? Listen, man, we got some special guests tonight. We got today. We normally here at night, but we here in the morning today. So we got two special guests out of Atlanta from the Atlanta Boxing Association. They one individual has over 50 years of boxing experience. The other one has a book coming out. We're gonna talk with them, get to know them a little bit better. They'll be back later at a different time, but we'll have a good time tonight, man. Well, today I keep saying tonight. We'll have a good time this morning, and we're gonna chop it up with them. Y'all can ask some questions in the live chat, of course, like we always do. So without further ado, good morning, man. How you guys doing today?
What's up, Kyle?
What's up from Atlanta, ATL?
What's up?
All right, so to get it started, we'll start with Mr. Wyman. Give us a little bit of background about yourself, where you from, and how you got started in the boxing game.
And if you don't mind, please, sir, in all due respect to you, your network, I want to say thank you, and to the audience, and also to Brother Preston. I'd like to just say a quick prayer, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Father in heaven, we thank you for this day. We thank you for our health, our strength, mind, knowledge, and understanding. We pray that you bless what we are doing right here, that it would be educated to the community and the boxing industry of the city of Atlanta and worldwide. We thank you for this opportunity with our brother Cal and his network. We ask that you continue to bless him and what he's doing for the efforts of this industry. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Yes, indeed.
I got started back in 1981, and I was doing just a little bit of boxing. I wanted to start my career in Houston with the Houston Boxing Association. At that time, my trainer was Jesse Reed. I didn't see a future in the ring any longer because I was discouraged. I was weighing 222 pounds, and I wasn't totally physically fit, but I had a knockout punch. So they told me, said, go back to Atlanta, become a promoter. You don't need to be in the ring. They said, with your name that you want to come in as Rock Crusher, go to Atlanta and crush the Rock open by being a promoter. I took it as a joke, so I come back like a big baby at that age. If I remember, I was like 27 years old. So I cried to all the powers in Atlanta, include former Mayor Maynard Jackson, the second. He said, we're going to make you our promoter. And then from there, I was in the history of boxing. So I had to go to Senator Leroy Johnson and Jesse Hill Jr. and Herman Russell. And I went through all the change of command who started boxing and got boxing with Jerry Quarry and Muhammad Ali in 1971. So I came in with the name for Rock Crusher Production, and it jumped from Rock Crusher Production to Atlanta Boxing Association in 2002. So that's how I got into the business of boxing, and I got involved with all the major heads of incorporations. Was Time Warner, which at that time was Turner Broadcasting, and also with Coca-Cola, Budweiser, you just name it all. Delta Airline, I became a community partner with all of those just through boxing. I took it to another level in the community. So that's how I built my name in boxing. And then from there, I worked with a guy like Ricky Hatton. We were trying to do boxing mean Appaloosa back in, if I can recall, in 1990, I'm going to guess it was 96 or 97 with Ricky Hatton. And that didn't come off with us, but then we kept other things going in bids with George Foreman, Michael Moore. Then I finally won one with Evander Holyfield and Von Bean in 1998 at Georgia Dome, over 42,000. Showtime, IBF, WBA. That's where my name come in, bringing a world championship title to a major venue like the Georgia Dome. So it goes on and on.
Man, I know we pressed for time. But
No, that's all right. Like I said, flow how you want to, Kyle. Flow how you want, bro.
No, I'm saying I know we pressed for time, but I gotta get you back. I gotta get you back like ASAP, because we gotta dig deep. We gotta dig a little deeper in this boxing thing. Pete, Tell us about your book.
Definitely, man. Like I said, the book that just came out. It was coming out in the fall, but we pushed it back due to COVID. Same thing too, man. The book is called Only the Strong Survive. And just a quick backstory of myself, man. I was born and raised in North Philadelphia. And I don't know if a lot of your watchers know that me and Kyle is actually cousins. So when my aunt found out I was doing a podcast, she said, call your cousin out of Chicago, talked about Kyle. So I was like, I got on the phone. I was like, cuz, how's everything going? But coming from Philadelphia, growing up in the projects of North Philly, same neighborhood, like I said, as Kevin Hart and Meek Mills, very drug-infested neighborhood. And I got into boxing because of my mom, man. I was getting in a lot of trouble as a kid. And my mom was like, listen, since you want to go around the neighborhood beating everybody up, why don't you start fighting? So I went to Myers Gym, located on Woodland Avenue. A lot of my friends were going there and boxing. And that's how my career got started. Went to Executioners over there with Bernard Hopkins, a couple other gyms in Philadelphia, Joe Fraser's gym on Broad Street, and it just catapulted. So by the time I got to college, man, I was already seasoned enough to make the Penn State boxing team. And the rest is history, man. Had some success there. Won outstanding boxing, doing a tournament. Took the silver medal at Lock Haven. So boxing is in my blood, man. A lot of my cousins, a lot of my family, and I'm glad to be down here, not only with Brother Wayman, but it's an honor to be in Atlanta and the history of boxing that's down here, man. So I'm very grateful. And again, thank you, Kyle, for having us.
Absolutely. So give us some backstory about the book.
Just pretty much just talking about coming from rough parts of Philadelphia, man. Losing my mother at 15, which I didn't talk about as much. But I grew up in a single family household, man. My mother, had it very rough. Went to college when she was a freshman, but it was tough being a kid coming from the projects, man, and moving to Southwest Philadelphia. Coming home one day, a friend of mine told me that I needed to get home, and found out there was police everywhere. And having a mental toughness as a kid to go from there to where I'm at now. So I hope that kind of answered your question, man.
For sure. Okay, so how did this dynamic duo? How did you guys connect?
I'll tell a short story. Then I'm gonna hand the floor back over to Brother Wayne because again he has a lot of wisdom, man. But when I first got down here like 3 years ago, man, I was flipping properties, doing wholesaling, and then one of my side hustles too. I was driving Lyft actually, and this is how God put us together, man. And we didn't meet on business. We didn't meet on boxing. He was just actually on his way to an appointment one day, and we started talking in the Lyft. And he told me, he said, Preston, listen, if you ever need anything, call me. So it was a very genuine connection. And I thank God the way that he connected us, because I wasn't impressed with who he was. It was just I kind of was attached to his heart, man, attracted to what kind of man he was. And I just followed up with him. I said, Brother Wayne, I called him one day. This is what I'm trying to do. And then when he told me about all the people that he knew in Atlanta, man, I was blown away because I must have missed it during the ride. And then he reiterated. It was mind-boggling of the history that this man has in Atlanta, man. So very dynamical guy. So, Brother Wayne, I don't know if you want to elaborate on that.
At that time when I first met Brother Preston, if I recall, he dropped me off at Graded. I was battling one of the uphill battles of my life with stage 4 cancer, colon cancer. And I recovered, and I got great news from last Monday.
Man, congratulations.
I'm back on the battlefield, so I'm trying to be doing a lot more than I ever did in my life. I'm back in the life with my son I hadn't seen for 10 years, and my daughter I hadn't seen in 12 years. So God been good to me. And then when Brother Preston and I got together, I said, this man worked too hard to be up out here. I'm going to help him, give him the juice that he needs. And I said, well, I got one slot open in Boxing Association. He said, where's that? And I said, well, believe it or not, the vice president. Well, he said, I don't know anybody in the city. I didn't want to hear excuses like Moses did when God put him to work.
Yeah.
I gave him the stick.
Yeah.
So I got him in there, introduced him to a few people, and he's been rocking and rolling since. So the good thing about having Brother Preston in as well as yourself, Brother Cal. I believe in helping the millennials, because when I came along, I was one, and I was up against all of the old school historical in Atlanta, and the door was closed. So I had a chance to earn that name, Rock Crusher. I had to crush those doors open, say I'm young and I'm out here by myself when there was no cell phone, there was no social media, there was no people. At that time, it was just pay phones and line phones. So I started from ground zero since back in I would say as early as 79 is when I really got started. And then I started with IBF in 1981 with Mr. Robert W. Lee, who was my godfather in boxing. He gave me what I needed as a young guy when everybody lined up against me. And I'm talking about I was in there with Don King, Bart Aaron, Cedric Cushman, God bless his soul, Dan Duva, all of those guys back during those times, Art Paluda, you name it. I was in there with the heavy hitters, so my chances was slim to none because they were looking everywhere but Atlanta. So Don King and I got together, and we said, well, we're going to do something in Atlanta, and that was Holyfield and Von Bean in 1998, September. So, but I can say prior to that, let me just collaborate just a little bit with the IBF convention in 1995. We had the world's largest convention in Atlanta. It was the LAD convention in 1995, the year of Tyson getting out March 25th, 1995. The convention was in May, Memorial Week of 1995. Don King spent nearly $70,000 in shoes at Freeman Shoes. George Foreman kicked off the George Foreman Grill at our convention when he was IBF champion. So it was a history making. It was the last convention in the history of Atlanta before they got the Olympics. Since then, they have not gotten their teeth back into the meat like they did. It was a large convention in the city, but we were the last convention that came in the history of Atlanta.
Man, that's amazing.
I'm trying to
get my camera together. My bad. Yeah, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. So what was the meeting like with Don King at the time trying to get something big in Atlanta? What was the conversation like? If you can elaborate.
It was good. It was good because one thing I liked about Don was that, you know, we were cigar smokers. And I think I got my illness from that. Of course, that's what the doctor said. And I was promoting handmade cigar throughout Atlanta, so I was a big cigar smoker. Don came into the meeting up at Jim Thomas' office, who was the manager at that time for Evander Holyfield, and he had this big cigar. But Don and I met through the years through the IBF convention every year. And I was always recognized as the promoter for Atlanta at those conventions. So I was going to conventions of IBF and I met everybody I needed to meet face to face, but I always was trying to bring things to Atlanta, and it was hard. But Don been in Atlanta before, back in the 80s. You know, Don King was involved at that time. He was involved with several things during that time. And Quiet Kept, he was always in the scene from the time with Sonny Liston and Ali. Never left. So when Ali did the Jerry Quarry fight, they didn't want to mention the name. Don King was here. He was around the scenario of that deal. So and then he bring in Tony Tubb, Tim Witherspoon, I think in 1982 or 83. At that time with the Omni before the Phillips Arena, now the State Farm Arena. So Don had a track record in Atlanta. And at that time he was making his mark in the heavyweight division in boxing. But a lot of people didn't like him too much at that time because he was a genius. But one thing I always liked about Don King, even to this day, he cared about the community. Every city he went into, he involved the community. The problem we have right now with these promoters that's popping up, I won't drop no name. They know who they are. We know who they are because your work, it shows. But they come to these towns and sit and put on fights and never get the community involved. They don't get the city involved. They don't get the businesses involved. And they get less attention. They don't get as much PR. So the last 2 years since really 2019, a lot of people didn't think I was going to be on the battlefield. So I had several people came to visit me on my sick bed. and they wanted to take the torch. And I said, I'm not going to give it up, but I'll help you. So they started doing one in November of 2019. That was Gervonta Davis, if you remember, at the State Farm Arena. So they came back the following year, did another fight with Gervonta Davis, and then another year, Aaron came in with Muhammad Ali grandson. So we were trying to show them you need the community. Those fights never had the communities. Whether they were successful or not, I wouldn't say much of anything on that. I won't collaborate on that. But the people in the community didn't know anything about it. It was said and done. They was gone.
Yeah,
They knew.
Man, I think this is a listen. This is amazing. I would say I was at 2 out of 3 of those fights. I was at. And what you said is spot on, because one of those fights, the community was in, like the Gervonta Davis fight. He lives in Atlanta, so it's a little different, right?
Right.
For a Stevenson fight, nobody knew about this fight. If you wasn't a boxing enthusiast, you didn't know about this fight. I got on the flight and got into a Uber, and the guy was talking about boxing, and I said, "Man, yeah, Shakur Stevenson fights this weekend." He was like, "What? I didn't know that. The city don't know that." But when I came for the Gervonta Davis fight, the whole city knew that Gervonta Davis was fighting. So what you said was spot on.
Right. I was there behind the scene on that one.
Man, that's amazing. So the battle with cancer, you're in your sick bed and you're still moving pieces. I mean, that in itself is absolutely amazing. So now that you're back, are we going to get more fights in Atlanta, or what we doing?
I was in a meeting yesterday with a young gentleman that he told me about last week. Yeah. Because I only get involved with promoters. I hardly ever get involved with managers. I definitely don't get involved with fighters. There's protocol from the old school. And he was telling me about this gentleman, James Hagner. Marvin Hagner, grandson, lives in Atlanta.
Marvin Hagler.
Marvin.
Yeah.
Yes. In Atlanta. So there was a meeting called yesterday from my right hand. I would say he does once in a while. He cooks for me. You know, he makes sure I eat healthy and things like that. His name is Elgin Edwards. He's a gourmet chef. So he been training this kid. So he brought him over to me to meet yesterday, and we went for a walk and a talk in the park. So he wants me to work with him in his career. I think right now, if I'm correct, he's like 2-1. What's his age? 27?
Yeah, he's a young guy. Like I said,
young guy.
Well, he looks like his great uncle.
But he definitely wants me to work with him. So there's some possibility with him. I have a hands-on better than I do right now, to be honest, with Evan Holyfield, because I was working with Evan Holyfield when he was amateur through the Atlanta Police Athletic League. I was involved with the process of him leaving from that, working with his mother over to where he is now, Sugar Burt Boxing. But when things got over at Sugar Burt Boxing, Sugar Burt is not above water with everybody that you bring people to, so they forget where they come from. My name was never mentioned. He never kept me in the scenario. So when I hear about Evan Holyfield around in Atlanta, it's only in the boxing community, and I say this kid's name should be bigger than what it is in Atlanta. But if I would still say if he was rattled around me or associated with me, a name would be big, because I would keep it out there. That's what I do. I keep boxing out in the forefront. If you go to Atlanta Boxing Association Facebook or social media, you see how big we stay busy every day, all day, putting boxing out there on top throughout the world. So, and that's what we good at. But to go back and answer your question, I'm going to be doing a No Fighter Left Behind benefit seminar on May 28th, my birthday, Memorial Day week on a Saturday. And we're still putting it together, but we won't have no more than 20 top people, ex-champion, that's going to come there. And the benefit seminar is going to open up a lot of eyes for opportunity where they can get into commercial, movies, filming. They have private investors around them and insurance companies, recovers, finance recovers, everything they knew to stabilize fighters. And this is just going to be the beginning of the kickoff, but it will go worldwide. So that's one of the things I'm doing now for May 28th, and it's going to be huge.
So who's all going to be there?
I won't drop those names now.
I got you. All right.
I mean, I got some heavy hitters, but I don't want to drop their names right now because we still going through the preliminary and takes agreements and contract. Most of those guys want appearance fees. So, but I can tell you right now, we got people like Prime America, New York Life, people like that is involved with us in doing this. Blue Cross Blue Shield. We got Grady Memorial Hospital. Everything that we need to stabilize fighter, but they kind of have to get started through Atlanta, in Atlanta. Not that that won't happen, worldwide, because those corporations worldwide will give fighters stabilities. When they retire, they come out in the ring, and before they come out, they got people that care about, love them, that can get them into some movies and some commercials and sponsorship endorsement, things like that. Those will be those people that's going to be there.
That's dope. That's dope, man. That's amazing, man. Man, that's amazing. So I know we got man, I wish we had more time. Okay, so
but say, Kyle, we're gonna definitely do it again as things are coming up in Atlanta. We would love to come back on the podcast as events are coming up and advertise it and broadcast it that way too, man. Because again, I mean, it's a new day, it's a new era. And we want to get the word out, man, so we can start getting these fighters, just dudes, and start putting boxing back on the map like it needs to be in Atlanta, man.
For sure. So I gotta say this before I gotta say this because I really appreciate you guys for coming on, man. Absolutely appreciate you guys for coming on. I got a friend of mine. His name is Tay Jones, and his trainer, Mufasa, is one of the great individual. I don't know if you guys know him or not, but
I heard Mufasa. Yeah, I heard him down in Atlanta. He's down here.
Yeah. So, man, that would be great for you guys to hook up with them and do something, man. That would be absolutely amazing. So I would have
to help assist that. Why don't you assist with that and
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, because that's an amazing thing. I wouldn't mind doing that at all because we got my cousin and then we got my homies over here. So to mix them up together would be great. And I think that'll be great for Atlanta.
I think your podcast would be good for the May 28th seminar. We'll work on that too.
Absolutely, man. I move some stuff around, man, to be there for that, for sure.
Well, he asked me to drop some name. I can tell you, Al Bernstein gonna be the co-host of it from Showtime commentator.
You said do that one more time. I couldn't.
Al Bernstein.
He said Al Bernstein is gonna be the host of from Showtime.
Okay. So. I met Al Bernstein out in Vegas for the Cool Boy for the Stephen Fulton fight versus Brandon Figueroa. So I talked to him for a few minutes. That's gonna be cool. I would love to get you on a podcast that's a little bigger than mine. There's a few podcasts that I would love to get you guys on, man. I know sometimes I got somebody they can change the slots to get you guys on. I think, man, your story would do great around the YouTube community. I think people need to hear about your stories, how you got started in Atlanta and the things that you're doing right now. So I'm gonna do my best and do my part to get people to reach out, and I'll be reaching out to you guys. At least try to do like once a week. I try to link up with you guys once a week just to talk and figure some stuff out. But my duty is to make sure that we get you guys on YouTube because YouTube is where boxing is at.
Yeah.
So so that'd be great to get you guys on different podcasts and things like that with a wider reach than mine. So I'm still growing, but there's podcasts that have grown to so many different heights, and I'll do my best to get you guys on there so you guys can get the word out more.
And let me just mention another thing. In all due respect, I don't want to forget one of the middleweight champion of all time, Tiger Flyber. They call him the Deacon. in 1943. He was the middleweight champion. He was born and raised in Atlanta. They got street names in northwest of Atlanta. Tiger Flower Drive, Tiger Flower Place, and I don't want to forget him. So I have the honor of having some rights in promoting his name throughout the city of Atlanta for the last 7 or 8 years, probably even longer. And I got into development in that community to uplift that distressed area where his name were. So it's been tremendous changes for that. But I keep, as they say, keep hope alive. I keep boxing alive in Atlanta.
Absolutely.
This is absolutely amazing, man. I couldn't ask for a better interview on a Sunday morning, man.
Absolutely. I say, but you gotta think of this is God's day, man. So you know what I mean? And God's definitely blessing this interview, and we thank Brother Wayman for the prayer starting it off, man. But yeah.
Absolutely. So we'll be in touch. We'll keep in touch for sure. I'm gonna try to get at least like 1 or 2 people if they want to ask a question, just so let the people get a little information from you. If y'all want to ask a question real quick, the link is if y'all want to ask a question, the link is in the chat, and also let me put the link in the chat if y'all want to ask a question real quick before we let them out. And also y'all can write a question in the chat, and I'll read it off to them.
And Brother Cal, real quick too, before they start asking questions, I just want to let you know our social media, where people can find us at. So, Brother Wayman, where can people find you?
I was going to do that.
Okay. All right. Just making sure before they start asking. But okay, that's no problem.
That's how it's going to end it. I was going to make sure I got all the information, things like that. So
yeah. I want to end it, but go ahead. I'm sorry, my brother. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. It's all good because I'm gonna put it in the chat, and I'm also do it's a banner that I'm gonna put up at the bottom so they can write it down. So yeah, we'll be all good. Yeah, so if nobody asks any questions, man, we'll end it in a couple minutes. Let me put y'all. I'm gonna get you guys' links so people can get to you to get straight to you guys, things like that. Okay. So, tell me about the day-to-day operations before we get out of here.
The daily operation, more than anything else, is the community, from the Atlanta Police Athletic League, which is Police Officer Mike Vale, all the way into book promotional beside Brother Preston, only the strong survive. But we also have one that's out right now called 16 Round, if I remember. The name touted Mr. Robert W. Lee, who was the founder of IBF, who was the strongest sanctioned body in the 80s and 90s and all the way up to now. Mr. Robert W. Lee, they kind of pushed him out of the business under some built up indictment because that time they wanted Don King. But there's a book I called, the 16 Rounds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Under Robert W. Lee Sr. And everybody in the boxing business knows it. Should know him. Back in the 80s and 90s and the 2000s. Other than that, we have other things that we get involved in the city, like Tiger Flower Drive, Tiger Flower Place. We get involved with other promoters here in the city. We get involved with everyday administrator that is needed and called upon over about, I would say, 12 to 13 gyms throughout the city of Atlanta. That's boxing gyms. But it's a day operational. It's more of administrative than anything else. We try to help all of the gyms and what they need, get their name out, get people to focus where they're located, and get the community and businesses behind them.
For sure. So I just put the link in the. I just put your Facebook link in the chat. So the Facebook is Atlanta Boxing Association. So make sure you guys tap in with that, and also got IG. Let me get this
IG probably gonna be Wayman Harley. I don't have IG up for the boxing.
So I'm gonna put Preston's in here real fast.
You can monitor there, but Brother Wayman, his main social media is Facebook. So He's a world-known Facebook guy.
There you go.
That's how you can find Brother Wayman.
You have an Instagram?
Now he was just mentioning most of his social media he does on Facebook. So, like I said, that Facebook page you got, that's the perfect place.
I can't hear you guys now.
Okay. Can you hear us?
Say something real quick.
I'm fine. I said, are you able to hear us? It's okay. All right, so we're good then. We're good.
Yeah, I can't. I can't. Yeah, man, I don't know what just happened.
Hills now.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I don't know what just happened with my phone. It just like went out. I think my internet is acting
I
up.
want to say the Atlanta Boxing Association.com will be up next week, not this week, but next week, the middle of this month.
Okay, I got you. That we're looking forward to that. Most definitely looking forward to that. And so y'all can so we got the social medias out. What's next immediately? What's the next thing immediately next? What do you guys have planned?
Right now, that's on the table is the May 28th, No Fighter Left Behind. Pending with the possibility in College Park, the city of College Park, the Gateway Center that holds about 4,500 people for boxing, staging boxing at some point, probably in early June or July this year. And attracting many the local fighters out of Atlanta undercard with a major headline and co-major headline. Working right now in the possibility of trying to gain a network. As you know, in the business, you know, you're not going to get Showtime or Fox because that's Al Hamer. ESPN is Bar Aaron. So there's some other opportunity with other network that we can get that I won't name drop because people run and grab those network if they can. But right now, we don't normally get involved with any boxing professional unless we have a major network or a network that's involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And that's only because of the size of the venue that we get into. We normally try not to get involved in anything under 5,000. We try to do 5,000 and up.
Okay. I think the smartphone. I think my phone is. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me in the chat?
Yeah.
Let me know in the chat if y'all can hear me.
Yep.
Okay, we good. Okay, so I'm gonna let you guys go, man. I'm 3 minutes over. We have some technical difficulties, but I gotta respect y'all. I gotta respect y'all time. I know y'all got a busy day ahead of y'all, man. But I appreciate you guys for coming on and sharing your stories with us. I'm looking forward to having you guys on pretty soon, man. Thank you for your time. I appreciate y'all, man. Any last words?
That's it. I mean, the main thing too, man. Mental toughness. Like I said, only the strong survive, and just keep staying persistent with your goals, man. And I'll let Brother Wayman lead us off.
And one thing I want to just make sure everybody understands: boxing is a business, but without the community, it won't stand on even on one leg or two legs. You got to get the community behind you in your local area.
Absolutely, yeah.
Most definitely. And with that, we out, and we'll talk to y'all tonight. We'll be at the boxing session. Also, y'all know we'll be live with Fred on Barbershop Conversations. Man, we look forward to seeing y'all later. We'll talk to y'all, man. All right, man. Peace. Oh, and also don't forget, man, the book is coming out very, very soon. He'll be back when the book drops. So they'll be back. We'll be back. You know what I mean? So we're looking forward to seeing y'all tonight. And with that, we out.
Peace.
Thank you.
All right.